Any questions for AJ about her books, self-publishing? Yeah, anything you can think of to ask her, go for it.
It was before my husband and I started dating, so it was probably more like 16 years ago. Long time ago, when it first started. But 2018 was when I had rewritten it in a version that I was happy with. And, you know, I mean, I write all the time. I was always writing, and I would bring my notebooks and stuff with me into the break room at work, you know, to just kind of write on, you know, my breaks and stuff. And I had a friend, I had a coworker, Nicole, who was like, hey, what are you writing? And she really wanted to read it. It sounded like something that she was into, so I had it printed out and spiral bound, and I gave it to her, and she was like, this is amazing, like, you have to publish this. This is good enough to be published. And that was like the seed that, like, kind of started everything. It was like, maybe this is the thing that I can get published, you know, maybe this is the thing. So yeah, so 2018 was really when things started, like when I started to take it seriously. Also, like the panic of like, I'm gonna be 30 soon. I really need to like get my shit in gear. Let's see. Question 2. The novel starts off in the month of Rustam, a rough equivalent of August. Are the months following sequential to our months in terms of number of days and seasonal habits? So they are more like, I guess, meteorological seasons, rather than, our seasons are more like astronomical. So, you know, in accordance to us in the sun, you know, you get days, like an equinox is when the day and the night are equal amounts of time. And then a solstice is, you know, either the longest night of the year or the longest day of the year. And that's how you get seasons. And it's, you know, they happen kind of randomly, like in the middle of a month. The seasons in Rosamar are like monthly. Like they made their months according to their season. So it's not a random day. It's like, so at the beginning of, you know, Lidisala, we have winter starts. And then, you know, so they are roughly the same 2-hour seasons, just a little more organized about it. The party that, you know, kind of kicks everything off in Wish and Mercy is kind of like Alanis's, I mean, it's the family reunion, but it's also, the family holds it at, like, in the beginning of fall annually. Like, that's kind of their tradition. So, oh boy. Let's scroll up
He's
here.
got a lot of questions.
I love it. I love it so much. The world of Nightwalker appears loosely based on Australia. Yes, that is just kind of accidentally where I drew it, in where Australia would be on a map. Is the world of Rosamar larger than what you're currently showing us in book 1? Are we missing key cartography to come? Yes. It is huge. Rosamar is much bigger than Miraven. Like, that's one. Bone Priestess and A Stranger in Stone both take place on the mainland that's directly north from Miraven, called Sealpen. But there's like the entire Western Hemisphere also. I don't have any stories set there yet. Coming soon-ish. But yeah, it's much bigger. I have a world map. It's kind of ugly. and it's not really well thought out yet. So
it's a draft.
It's a draft
yeah.
for sure. For sure. One day, like, I want to get a globe, right, and just like paint, like repaint the globe to have it be my world. I think that would be so cool.
It would be.
I just haven't done that yet, but let's see. Can we request signed copies through Amazon? Unfortunately, no. Amazon has my book on a print-on-demand service, so if you buy it from Amazon, they print it from their warehouse and then they ship it to you. So you will have to get signed copies through me. So, which is fine. Like, I mean, I make more money if you have them come from me. I would suggest, if you are not in the continental US, to buy it from Amazon, and then I can send you a book plate, a signed book plate, which is a really cool sticker that I sign and personalize that you can stick on the inside of the book. So that's my solution to that.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Let's see. Do we later learn more about the different magical houses? Are children born of magical parents inherent to the magic of their parents? Will the child of a ruby mage and necromancer have innate? Magic is not really. It's definitely learned. I mean, there are some people who are like null, like they cannot learn magic for whatever reason, like they are blocked from utilizing the Akashic realm. Like they can't. So magic is used, and this explanation appears in book 2, but magic comes from the Akashic realm, and a spell basically tears the veil between those realms a little bit and allows the magic to come out so you can use it. And that either happens like with demonology and royal magic. It's a language that you speak that allows you to manipulate it. Amethyst magic uses spell ingredients. So you know it's pretty different based on each discipline. You'll see a little bit of the disciplines in different books, Nightwalker, but most of that actually comes out in my Rosamar Primer series, which I haven't really done a whole lot with yet. That is the series that really like explains it, that goes into detail, like the characters are learning about it so you can learn about it. And the first book is about Rosamar, like the goddess Rosamar, how she created the Fae and her brand of druidism, basically. So that's that. And so sometimes like the children of mages can have like strengths, propensities, or abilities that kind of come out. Like Mariette, for example, is she has Father Halinar's gift for like she's an oracle, and Tizzy's father was an oracle, so it skipped all of them. But man, that creepy little girl, she's got it. She's got all of the oracle talent. She can also speak to fire, which is something that Adeska learned how to do. She studied how to do it, but because Mariette's kind of creepy, and everything kind of went wrong with her, she has some of those innate abilities, but it's not common. It doesn't happen a lot. Let's see. 9 times out of 10 for people, magic is learned. It is something that they have to study. There's certain races. I don't want to spoil this too much because it's kind of a reveal towards the end of Curse and Whisper, but there are certain races that have can manipulate it without can manipulate magic or raw Akasha without knowing magic. Like it's they're something that they can do.
Hey Ray, how's it going?
Jackie says, "What are your writing habits? Do you have a routine?
How are you doing today?
And writer's block?
Welcome.
I used to have a habit. I fell out of it, and I'm trying to get back into it. Basically, so I have a day job, which really hurts my creativity. I am in the process of getting a diagnosis for narcolepsy, so I don't have like a lot of like awake time basically to work with. So it's when I am awake. That
explains so much.
Right? Right? Yeah, true. It does. I write when I can. It helps me to have an outline so that when I do get writer's block, it's never because I don't know what to do next. And for some people, like, they write better without an outline. Like, an outline can be stifling. It is not for me. I have to have some kind of a game plan. Otherwise, I will just sit there and be like, I don't know what to do, you know? So that's kind of what my cure is. Also, finding a new inspiration, something to kind of just jumpstart me. Listening to super loud music, eating something like really, really good, just something to kind of awaken my senses is how I kind of jolt myself back into creative mode. So that is my suggestion for that. Also, forthewords.com is a fantastic tool for writing. It is like a role-playing game, and you kill the monsters by writing, like with a word count. So I might have to a quest to kill 5 of these like 700 word monsters, and I might get cool drops to do something with, and if I don't get the drops that I need, then I have to kill another 700 word monster. So that's how I keep going. Is there a significance to choosing a Border Collie for A? So it's a step up from my first choice. The joke that I had with some of my friends who were my readers early on, I did everything to this character. I put him through so much. And I couldn't give him one single win, not one. And it wasn't a Border Collie. It used to be a black Pomeranian. And so finally, I decided for the canon version to at least bump him up to a Border Collie. But also, Border Collies are adorable, so they're fantastic.
They are great dogs.
So it seemed very fitting for him to be a dog, for one thing. Especially in the sense where, like, I mean, as sad as this is, it relates to him, but, like, you could kick the shit out of a dog, and a dog doesn't know. A dog loves you no matter what. And that is absolutely true to this particular character. So, I mean, it works. Okay, here we go. What else? Will there be audiobooks? There will be audiobooks! So it's not like a regular audiobook. We're doing an audio drama, because it's such a massive book with so many characters. And I just paid one of the voice actors. This is now a paid professional project. We got the first lines turned in. They're amazing. We have fantastic talent on this project, so I'm super excited to make more headway on that and to let you guys like listen to, post a sample or something. We're not quite there yet, but maybe in the future, I'll be able to do that. A Besky accent. So, I've tried to drop little subtle hints that Besky, Besk is kind of like a fantasy India. So, Laura is kind of like not Indian, but if that's like my fantasy equivalent, where she comes from, Besky is supposed to be an Indian accent. Are the old gods the ones mentioned in the book, or are there gods that predate the gods of order and disorder? Will we get to meet them? We come back to that in book 2. There is a fantastic conversation between Lazarus and Rhett about that. And basically the old gods are... So there is an event that happened where the ancients, ancients were just like people that walked the earth and they had powers, and then they all ascended to become gods. Before the ancients, the only thing that there really was life and death, and that was like the two governing forces of the land. And so when people refer to the old gods and the old ways, that's what they're referring to. And that conversation, that's brought up, that's a big thing towards the end of book 2. So, great conversation. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. Can't wait. Last one. Nightwalker mentions currency in gold, silvers, and platinum god pennies. What is the economic weight of a god penny versus a gold piece? Are all coins god pennies? So there are brass pennies, there's silver stars, gold coins, and platinum god pennies. And I believe it's 20 brass pieces to a silver star. Had all this written down somewhere. But yeah, it's like 500 gold pieces makes a platinum god penny. So you gotta have a lot, lot of gold to get that. I can't quite remember the jump between silver and gold. It might be like 25 or 50 or I don't know. I'm really bad. I did not make a sensible money system. But hey, is any money system sensible? It's not. So since you've been thinking about your story for a long time, how much has it changed over time? Still changing with current inspiration. Yeah, it's changed a whole lot. Just like the plot in general has really come together and made more sense. It's a more mature plot, something that, and not just mature like in like the themes, but something that would just be harder for a younger me to follow along with. All of the political drama and stuff like that, that's stuff that I would never have included in my writing as a teenager, just because I didn't get it, I didn't understand. And so the more that I grow and I understand different concepts, definitely the more that they inspire my writing. Also, I just get ballsier, I definitely get ballsier, and I do crazier things, stuff that I never thought I would have the courage to write. So, will it be on Audible? It will eventually be on Audible. I probably... Initially, I was not going to put anything on Audible because Audible is the devil, but they fixed their, the issue that I had with them initially. What Audible was doing to authors was they had changed their, a whole thing into like a lending library. They were advertising themselves as a lending library. They were like, hey, return your thing and we'll give you another book, like making it sound like it wouldn't have any repercussions on us. But when they encourage you to return something, that comes out of an author's profits. And they changed that entire model of theirs without telling anyone, without having them sign like a new agreement or anything. It was just, hey, we're going to start doing this now. And so like thousands and thousands of people started just returning stuff all the time, not because they're douchebags, but because Audible encouraged them to do it. That was the new model that they had built. So, it was bleeding authors. Like, authors had paid thousands of dollars to produce an audiobook, and then they were losing thousands of dollars in profit off of it because people were returning it. Even though there was nothing wrong with it. They were just returning it because they were, because Audible wanted them to. So they have since moved away from that a little bit, it sounds like, so we might decide to put it on Audible after all. Thanks, Jackie. I'm glad that you have enjoyed reading the book. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. Really enjoy the inventions you bring in. Don't want to spoil anything. I wonder if you're talking about the Stelina. That was fun. That was a fun inclusion. But anyway, how long were your writing sessions, or what was your process? Did you write every day?
Probably need a pee-pee.
So, for the first book, in order to finish it in time, my life completely fell apart. It was nothing but going to work, coming home from work, writing, editing until like the wee hours of the morning, and then getting some sleep and doing it all over again. It was a really... Aw, doggo.
Don't let him distract you with his cuteness.
It was a really bad way to do things. I had no balance. But I mean, also, like, I had promised that I would publish this book by the time I was 30, and I had a very small window to do it, and I was not gonna, fail on that. So my life fell apart. It was pretty unhealthy. Wrote every single day. I don't so much now. I mean, like, I have really good grooves where I will write at least a little bit every day. But I used to be more prolific. I used to write like 2,000 words a day. Now it's like anywhere between like 400 to 2,000. I try to write at least a little bit every day. Because once you get into that routine, you get used to, like, it's bad to train yourself to write only when you're inspired, because you never get anything really to come out. You gotta train yourself. You gotta train that part of your brain to always be ready, to always just get at it, to make it a habit. So, forthewords.com was a really useful tool. I'll put that on here again. It was very useful. It's very motivating. It's very fun. So I suggest using that. It's also a nice little word processor to have in browser. The only thing about For the Words, actually that's not a correct link. I forgot the S. Is that it is, you do have to pay to use it. It's like a monthly subscription. But it's definitely worth it. It's a writing role-playing game. You can't lose. So that is my my tip about that.
It does actually seem like it would be fun to stream almost if it's like I'm imagining it.
I mean, if you can have a thought that, you know, puts out the right amount of words, it's a lot of typing sounds is what the stream would be. It's a whole lot of typing sounds.
I just got this clicky clacky new keyboard, so I mean,
perfect.
It'd be perfect. Perfect.
Here we go. Yeah, and if you weren't here for me saying this earlier in the stream, if anybody is looking into self-publishing, like, hit me up. I have the resources. I don't want anybody to cut corners. I'll kill you. I don't want anybody to cut corners, especially because they don't have money, you know, to pay for the services and stuff, because it can be really expensive. Hit me up. I have those resources. I know who you can go to. I got formatters, editors, designers. Like, I have been able to build up this, you know, list of people in these communities and stuff. So I will help you. I am your friend.
April, thank you so much for being here and doing this interview with me. It was wonderful to talk to you for the last few hours. And
thank you everybody. The attention was awesome. That's all I want. I just want attention. Thank you.
Yeah, she likes it. So
I do.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here. Everybody, spam your favorite emotes to thank April for being here for us.
Thanks for having me.